Please explain the law of Ḥuqúqu'lláh. This is a major subject. How can I say it in few words? However, this law of Ḥuqúqu'lláh, frankly, is a unique law. You don't find its equal or anything similar to it in the laws and ordinances of other faiths before the Baha'i faith. Baha'u'llah created himself this institution. There is some reference to it in a different form in the Bayan. Baha'u'llah was the founder of this new law that he devised, giving full details, whereas in the Bayan is just a brief reference to the right of God that should not be forgotten. But here Baha'u'llah is explaining to us. And questions were put to him and he clarified. And again more questions were asked and he further clarified. Abdul Baha further amplified and clarified. Shoghi Effendi himself made further explanations and elucidations. Even the House of Justice had to make further explanations and elucidate. We have a whole compilation of texts on Ḥuqúqu'lláh. It is a fascinating subject. Believe me. Baha'u'llah makes it very clear that Ḥuqúqu'lláh is not a tax. It is, when you use the word tax, it is on income. This is not on income at all. There will be taxes in the future world superstate, of course. Every nation will have its own system of taxation. That's different. We are talking about the universal law of Baha'u'llah. It is not on income. It is on savings. In other words, you spend whatever you want to spend, whatever you need, whatever you consider to be needful, you spend it. Nothing to do with Ḥuqúqu'lláh. You are perfectly free during the whole year to do what you like. But if you have some savings that you are not using, then from that sum, you have to give 19% at your own wish, without any coercion, without any pressure by anybody. He tells his trustees, even in 2-3 cases, he says, if you feel that money is being given for Ḥuqúqu'lláh because of pressure, don't accept it. He tells the trustees so clearly. It should come from love, from the heart, spontaneously. That's how it should come. And I think that it is a device that Baha'u'llah thought of in order to carry, so that the head of the faith at any period will have enough funds to carry on with the work of the faith. Of course, the number of believers were very few at the beginning, in the days of Baha'u'llah. The law of Ḥuqúqu'lláh was not universally applicable. It only was applicable in the East and primarily in Iran. And the friends in Iran were not rich people for the most part, very simple people, none of them farmers, villagers, so on. So the income from the Ḥuqúqu'lláh was very limited at the beginning. The Middle East, more particularly Iran, and only those who had enough funds, spare money, savings, that was very limited. But as the faith developed, naturally it was the funds of the head of the faith had more. That's why Shoghi Effendi was able to do so many things that during the period of Abdul Baha was not possible. Largely, or some projects, of course, had nothing to do with Ḥuqúqu'lláh. He wanted to build the shrine of the Bab. He announced, this is a project. The temple in America, in the United States, in Wilmette, was a project that had nothing to do with the work of the faith at the World Center. It was a project. The House of Justice does the same thing. They want to have a temple in Chile, they announce it. And they call on the Friends to assist this project in Chile for a temple. They have now a number of new temples, and they have announced it to us. And Friends are left to themselves to make contributions for such projects. It's not the World Center, it's different projects. But for Ḥuqúqu'lláh, of course, reminders about the importance of Ḥuqúqu'lláh as a general principle is allowed, but no coercion, no pressure individually on anybody to, well, have you paid your Ḥuqúqu'lláh? It is like asking, have you had your obligatory prayer today? You don't ask this question. No one has the right to ask it. This is between the believer and God. So this institution created by Baha'u'lláh makes the head of the faith not dependent upon appeals, send us contributions. It's not there. It preserves the dignity of the head of the faith. You will never find any letter from the House of Justice today saying that we are in need of more funds for Ḥuqúqu'lláh. Please send us more funds. It's left to the conscience of the believers. If they do it, it's between them and God. But this saves the World Center from making specific appeals to the Friends about Ḥuqúqu'lláh. Generally, yes, they can say the importance of Ḥuqúqu'lláh. The local assemblies can do that. Baha'i speakers can do that. And they do it. The trustees can speak about the importance of Ḥuqúqu'lláh as a general thing. But not as a national fund, send money to the national fund. The local fund, send money to the local fund. It's not like that. So this, I think, preserves the dignity of the World Center.